welcome back. Okay, Greg, opportunity to explain as to why is that the way it is now with developing and developed countries.
Well, all this happening in the Western world, it's the irreversible effect of globalization. If they sneeze, we catch a cold. That's how things are. Many of the Asian countries, even China, is highly dependent on foreign investments. And where did foreign investments come from? It's from the Western countries. And who is the consumer of the products that they produce? It's also the Western countries. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. And certainly, we will be affected whatever.
But we're doing better. Why are we still not investment grade?
We
Versus
are not,
the likes of US, Italy?
Well, all of this comes out of these ratings because Greece has been downgraded. I think it was yesterday, Italy has been downgraded. Nobody mentioned it, but I think 2 weeks after the US was downgraded by Standard & Poor's, Japan was also downgraded. No? The function of ratings is volatility and liquidity. So in the West, it's very volatile.
Yes.
And yet, it's still very liquid. People still go to US dollars, the bond market, Swiss francs, and gold. So, but in our case, we may not be volatile. In most countries in Asia, it's not volatile, but we don't have the liquidity. Nobody is really buying.
Liquidity.
Nobody is really buying and selling. If I buy your bonds,
Easily conversion into cash.
If I buy your bonds, who do I sell it to? Who's going to buy and sell it? Unlike because they have a huge market.
Like them, there are many suckers.
There's many people who try to make a fax back. And remember, our $100 million, so big to us, that's peanuts to them. They're talking about billions of dollars. So nobody pays attention to our own issues because it is not that big and that important. And we certainly won't sell to one buyer all our everything. So the liquidity is not there. It's not volatile, but liquidity is not there.
But do you see like the US dollar now still being used as for a while?
Oh, yes. I think you could see that everybody was predicting a double-dip inflation. Gold was running at $1,900,
Higher than platinum.
$2,200. And yet, the US dollar strengthened. Because what currency will you go to? It's US dollars, Swiss francs, and gold that is doing very well. There's no other currency. Where will you go to?
How about a basket of the others?
Polish currency.
Well, you go to EU, the European euro, the euro. But the euro is so much affected. It's Germany and France.
Based
And
on
then
your experience, Greg, is the Eurozone going to disintegrate? Kakalas ba ang Greece, tapos magsosolo ang Germany?
It will all depend on, I think, Germany and France, whether they're going to bail out Greece, Italy, and Portugal, Spain, and these are the ones that are affected. But I also think, I'm not an economist, but I think it's going to be very difficult to disentangle the European
It
Union.
will cost more money though to disintegrate rather than to solve the
just
debt
solve
crisis.
The problem. Just solve the problem. And if you follow the Greek tragedy, I would call it, they're doing very hard. They're trying very hard to really, meet the demands of the European Union, increasing retirement pay, all these civil service costs.
Also.
Yes, they're really trying very hard because they know that it would be disastrous for them to be out of the European Union.
So, going back to governance in the Philippines, yung mga accounting behavior saka governance standards, di ba pwedeng apply naman yun sa mga government agencies?
This last few
What happened
years,
to their accountants? You cannot release a check or disburse cash kung walang accountant, di ba?
but this is all fueled by tone at the top.
Kasi the government is the biggest corporation of the Philippines, 1.8 trillion pesos.
Biggest employer, biggest funder, biggest everything.
Yeah.
But it's tone at the top. That's, I think, in the past, if you see your boss doing something, it's tone at the top. What do you
I'm a
do?
believer in the
Oh,
fact
but now?
that government can indeed be clean.
Oh, yes. There are so many, my own experience with working with government people, is there are so many good people in government.
Yeah, my own experience that they're very competent, they're very educated, they're articulate, they're assertive, and they are very jealous of their perks.
Yes, they are, but there's also a lot of technocrats there who just do their jobs day in, day out, and follow the rules. Unfortunately, the few who do not is the one that lands on the papers
If you 2%,
and affects
halimbawa,
everybody.
These calawags are 2%. 2% of 1.5 million, that's plenty of people.
That's what I think BIR Commissioner Kim Henare said. So I think I forgot the figure, but it's something like 10%. There's only 10% bad
ang
eggs
dami nun,
in the
150,000.
BIR, and
That's
you're,
more than the number of
but you're
LGUs in this country.
indicting, but you're indicting everybody.
whole thing.
Diba? The whole customs is the same.
Yeah, but they can
That's
bring the
issue.
house down.
They could.
General Garcia nga brought down the reputation of the AFP to the sowers.
You know, if people are going to do bad, they're going to do bad. I don't think any governance procedures, good internal controls, if the intention is to do, to
Kayo, Greg, mga
malfeasance,
professional people, di ba? You know the business, you know the ethics, you know the rules, you know the regulations. Di ba pwedeng tumulong naman kayo sa paghuli sa mga yan o pagkagupit sa kanila?
Well, yes, we have endorsed, Beth and I sit in the board of MAP, I sit in the Phoenix Foundation. We endorse the initiative of Secretary Purisima, yung Pera ng Bayan, to report via internet or wherever if there's things that you see. Just this lunchtime, we were with Mar Rojas and somebody was also complaining about some government agency that packages things for you so it will be smooth sailing and says, I'm give me the report and I'm conscripting you into our committee that will have, and there's already a lot.
Volunteering your services?
Yes, we do. We have we're in the integrity initiative. We're trying to attract all corporations. It takes two to tango. Di ba? There's a corruptor and a corruptee.
Pero sabi ng PCCI, di ba may konting corruption basta may ginagawa lang?
Well, that's another way to look at it.
Di ba tama
That's
yun?
another way to look at it.
You don't reinvent the wheel. Kung mayroong corruption, pakisamahan mo na yan. At least magtrabaho
Remember, in the 70s and the 80s, we were also being compared with Indonesia and Malaysia. Why is there, I would say, just equal sense that the corruption is also there, and why are they so much growing ahead of us? So there is a business model, I would suppose, for everything. There's Singapore, very successful, but then there's also these other countries that are also very successful, in spite of the lack of transparency and good governance. So there's a business model for everyone, I suppose. Some things work for others, some does not.
And this good governance cry of the president actually has done us well.
Oh yes, it is. I think I have to attribute this to Shell Habito when he said the growth of the economy in the last year is due to economics. Foreign investments down, infrastructure spending is down, and yet the economy grew. How do you
It's
explain?
because of consumption.
Because of consumption
According
and,
to
Confidence
Sanjay
is
Bora.
that.
and also
Bora.
local investors, Filipinos themselves investing.
So that's confidence.
Yes, that's confidence in the new administration. I think that's confidence in the new administration. Even jobs are up, profitability is up, not that to the levels that was expected because of the slowdown this first half.
Yes.
But he attributes that, and I tend to agree that there's no other change except for change in leadership.